What if the richest girl in the city, who could buy anything money could offer, refused to say even a single word for 3 years? What if the only person who could reach her heart was a teacher who was about to lose everything, including his job, his home, and his faith in himself? This is not just a story about silence. It's a story about connection, healing, and how one voice can awaken another. Chapter 1, The Girl Who Chose Silence. The morning sun spilled through the grand windows of Royal Crest Academy, a private school built like a palace, owned by billionaires, attended by their heirs. Among the laughter of privileged students and the hum of luxury cars pulling up, one girl walked alone, Ariana Hayes, the daughter of Victor Hayes, CEO of the biggest tech empire in the country. At 16, Ariana was beautiful, long chestnut hair that framed her pale face, eyes that held oceans of sadness, and a silence that followed her like a shadow. 3 years ago, after her mother's tragic death in a car accident, Ariana simply stopped talking. No doctors, no therapists, no amount of luxury could bring her words back. She attended school out of routine, sitting in the back row, never responding, never raising her hand. Her notebooks were empty except for small, neat sketches, always of the same scene, a cracked swing set under a rainy sky. Teachers came and went. Some pitied her, others ignored her. But no one reached her. Until Daniel Reid arrived. Daniel was nothing like the other teachers at Royal Crest. He didn't wear expensive suits or drive luxury cars. His shoes were worn, his tie slightly frayed, and behind his gentle smile was a life unraveling in silence of its own. Once a passionate literature teacher, Daniel's life had taken a downturn after his wife left him and his mother fell sick. The hospital bills crushed him. He took the Royal Crest job not out of ambition, but desperation. On his first day, he was warned about Ariana. "Don't waste your time," said Ms. Clara, the senior counselor. "She doesn't speak, doesn't write, doesn't engage. Her father's influence keeps her enrolled. Just mark her attendance." But Daniel didn't believe in ghosts of potential. He believed in sparks buried under ashes. During his literature class, he noticed her sitting near the window, sketching that same broken swing. He said softly, "That's a beautiful sketch. You draw sadness like it's trying to escape." No response. Not even a glance. Still, he continued, every day, talking as if she might answer, about books, life, the ache of losing someone, and how silence can sometimes scream louder than words. One afternoon, he placed a small note on her desk. It read, "Greater than, when words are too heavy, draw your heart instead. I'll listen with my eyes." For the first time, Ariana looked up. Their eyes met, a brief moment, but enough to stir something. That night, Daniel found an envelope on his desk. Inside was a sketch. It was of a small boy sitting under a streetlight, reading a torn book, alone, but smiling. It was him. He felt something tighten in his chest. She had been listening all along. Days turned into weeks. Ariana began to communicate through drawings. He responded through small notes or shared poems about courage and healing. Slowly, their silent exchange became the heart of every class, unspoken, yet deeply felt. But whispers started spreading around the school. Other teachers mocked him. Some accused him of wasting time on a lost cause. Even Victor Hayes, Ariana's father, summoned him to his glass-walled office. "You're a good man, Mr. Reid," he said coldly. "But my daughter doesn't need a friend. She needs discipline. Do your job, or I'll find someone who will." Daniel left the office with trembling hands but steady resolve. He wasn't giving up on her. Because he saw something everyone else had missed. She wasn't refusing to speak out of arrogance or grief. She was waiting for someone to truly hear her. Chapter 2, The Voice Beneath Silence. Winter came early that year. The city was wrapped in frost, and so was Ariana's world. Daniel had been struggling more than ever. His mother's condition had worsened, hospital debts piled up, and the school board was threatening to cut his position due to low performance. Yet, every morning, he showed up. He'd greet Ariana the same way. "Good morning, Ms. Hayes. Today's story might just change your life." He didn't know it yet, but it would. One day, the school announced its annual Voice of Change event, a talent show where students expressed their ideas through speeches or performances. Ariana was, as usual, not expected to participate. But when Daniel asked the class who'd like to present, He glanced her way and said, "Sometimes, the quietest voices have the most to say." That night, Ariana's sketchbook slipped off her desk while she was packing up. Daniel picked it up and froze. The last drawing showed a girl on a cracked swing, but this time, a man stood beside her, holding an umbrella over her head. Him again. It broke him. Because he realized something, Ariana wasn't just healing, she was trusting. The next day, she left a folded note on his desk. "Greater than, if I could speak, would you listen?" He wrote back. "Greater than, always." Days later, something unexpected happened. Ariana walked into his empty classroom during lunch break, trembling, holding her sketchbook. She looked at him, her eyes shimmering. "Mr. Reid," she whispered. It was the first word she had spoken in 3 years. He froze, tears instantly welling up. "Yes, Ariana." Her voice cracked. I don't remember how to stop being afraid." Daniel knelt beside her, his voice shaking. "You don't have to stop being afraid. You just have to speak anyway." She broke down, sobbing for the first time, and he just let her cry. No words, no judgment, just the sound of her breaking silence. After that day, she began speaking again, slowly, carefully, like learning how to breathe. She told him about the night of her mother's accident, how she had called her mother begging her not to drive in the rain, and how guilt had chained her voice ever since. Daniel told her his own story, his failures, his loneliness, his fear of not being enough. They were both broken in different ways, but their wounds recognized each other. When the Voice of Change event finally came, Ariana stood on stage. The auditorium went silent. Her father sat in the front row, stunned. She held her sketchbook, took a shaky breath, and began to speak. "My voice was buried the night I lost my mother. I thought silence would keep me safe. But someone taught me that even silence deserves to be heard." Then she smiled through tears. "Mr. Reid, thank you for listening." The crowd erupted in applause. Even Victor Hayes, stone-hearted, powerful, untouchable, stood with tears in his eyes. After the event, he approached Daniel and said quietly, "You did what money never could. You gave me my daughter back." Months passed. Daniel's mother recovered with Victor's help, and Ariana began helping him teach art therapy sessions for other silent or struggling students. Their story spread across the city, a teacher who saved a millionaire's daughter, and a girl who reminded him why he became a teacher in the first place.